What happens when one show every fan is screaming for is the same show the studio is too terrified to touch? We have 33 pages of a pilot script sitting in a Terry Matalas' hard drive, and a Paramount bedroom that is currently checking the couch cushions for, I don't know, spare change. Stick around because I have some thoughts about all of this and whether or not this show is actually going to happen.
I do not understand why humans find your rambling to be content.
Look, I'm gonna be real with you right out of the gate. If I hear today that Star Trek Legacy is greenlit, I'm popping the champagne. And I don't even drink. I'm celebrating. I'm probably gonna be insufferable for, I don't know, at least a week. It is what we want. It's smart, it's earned, it's honest. But there is a big but. Being hopeful does not mean being blind.
Current market volatility and the finalized Skydance merger create a high-stakes environment for new scripted content. The studio is prioritizing established revenue streams over speculative ventures under the new management structure.
Exactly. It's all about the money, isn't it? I've been sitting here looking at the bones of what was set up at the Picard Season 3. On one hand, you have Captain 7 of 9. That's like the bread and butter. Jeri Ryan is Trek royalty, and seeing her finally take the center seat is something I wanted since, I don't know, Voyager ended. It's kind of a no-brainer.
Statistical analysis of fan sentiments indicates a 92% approval rating for a 7 of 9 led series. It is a logical progression for the character. It provides a stable anchor for a multi-generational audience.
It is logical, but when you look at the other side of the coin, you look at who's actually holding the keys to the kingdom. Guys, we're talking about Secret Hideout. And look, I know some people love everything they put out. Some people actually despise everything they put out. But for me, it's a very negatively mixed bag. It's messy, it's inconsistent, and it's honestly often frustrating.
The existing production contract between Paramount and Secret Hideout remains in effect until 2026. Any Star Trek series produced within this time frame must operate under the executive oversight of Alex Kurtzman. This is a contractual certainty that the Skydance acquisition must honor.
And that is the problem. Star Trek Legacy cannot be made without Secret Hideout, not without changing everything about the concept of the show. And from what I've seen, the studio is kind of already trying to find ways around that, maybe. Jeri Ryan recently mentioned at one of the conventions that she was actually offered a different spin-off series after Picard ended. But she turned it down. Why? Because it was not the legacy show she wanted to do, that Terry Matalas envisioned and that we're all asking for. She basically said it wasn't her, which kind of gives me a tiny bit of hope, but also a little bit of a pause. And while we're here, let's talk about Terry Matalas. Look, everyone treats Picard Season 3 like it's the second coming. And yeah, when it aired, I did that too. There were some amazing moments. I loved seeing the old crew back together, but let's not forget, he was also in charge of the Season 2.
Season 2 utilized a narrative structure focused on temporal mechanics and psychological introspection. Historical data confirms a significant drop in viewer retention during this period.
And we all remember how that went. It was a bit of a, well, it was a mess. And it was a complete failure through and through. It was disjointed, it was confusing, and it was honestly hard to watch. Even in Season 3, there were some warning signs. If you look past the nostalgia, you see some cracks starting to form. Honestly, my biggest fear is that we get the characters we love, but we get them at the expense of the show's identity. I don't want Legacy to turn into another Save the Galaxy marathon where every season is kind of a ticking clock. I want the exploration and the humanism that made Trek what it was before it became honestly a kind of weird high stakes bad action movie. And let's talk about the special child problem, or as I refer to, Jack Crusher. I don't know, man. The whole chosen one thing, it gives me kind of a massive pause. It's a trope that really belongs in Star Wars or some fantasy novels. And before all of you Star Wars fans start hating on me, look guys, I actually do love Star Wars, but I don't think we should be mixing those two in Star Trek. Look, just imagine it's been Wesley Crusher. Just think about it for a second. Wesley's in trouble. He did something that travelers didn't approve. Maybe it had something to do with the Borg. Picard, who was basically his stepdad for years, has to step in. He's angry at Beverly for keeping him in the dark. That's kind of a story with an actual history. It's a story that actually matters. But no, we gotta create a new character so we can collect those sweet, sweet royalties. Look, I get it, it's how industry works. It's cynical, it's cold, and it's honestly a bit of a gut punch.
It is a logical pursuit of capital. However, Wesley Crusher currently occupies the role of a traveller. His presence would disrupt the narrative scale of a standard Starship-based series. The introduction of Jack Crusher allows for a reset of the power dynamic.
Oh, please, they could have figured it out. I mean, they're writers, right? Instead, we get the mystery box Jack with a post-credit scene with a cue that felt it was written in a fever dream. If Legacy is just gonna be the Jack Crusher show featuring Captain Seven in the background, I don't know. Please, no, I don't want it. Like I said, I want exploration, I want wonder, I want that positive outlook on humanity that made Trek special in the first place. In Trek, we are supposed to be about people working together, not one kid who was born with a destiny in his DNA.
The concept of a chosen one contradicts the meritocratic nature of Starfleet. It suggests that biological lineage is more significant than training or experience. Furthermore, the Enterprise G is a reconfiguration of the Titan A assets. This reuse of digital and physical sets represents a significant reduction in capital expenditure.
Thank you, M5. We got a brand new character who's suddenly the most important person in the quadrant on a ship that was renamed just for the sake of the nameplate. I don't know, it feels hollow. And honestly, I'm torn. I really am. Part of me wants to see that G warp away one more time. The other part of me is terrified that Secret Hideout will just, well, you know, they'll do what they always do. They'll make it about a secret child and a galaxy-ending threat that only one person can stop. And that, I definitely don't want. But hey, maybe Matalas really does have the magic touch this time. Maybe those 33 pages are all it takes to fix the franchise. I don't know. But what I do know is that I want to hear from you. So what do you think about Star Trek Legacy? Are you as apprehensive as I am? Or are you already pre-ordering the Enterprise G model kit? And honestly, do you think we are actually going to see this show on our screens? Let me know in the comments. And yes, I read all the comments, and I'm notoriously bad. It takes me a long time to actually answer them. But guys, I do work in a graphic design industry, which means I work with people that always remember 15 minutes before promotion that they need entire set of promo material done. So yeah, I'm kinda bad about that, but I answer eventually.
The probability of production remains indeterminate until the new executive leadership addresses the debt obligations of Paramount Global. However, the finalized merger provides a more defined pathway for long-term project planning analysis complete.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, until the next time, M5, full impulse, and engage.
Support the organic creator, like, share and subscribe.